Alright guys, so we're back with another episode. Today, last night on Twitch, we managed to push up to 7k. So those who were with me last season, you guys know that I was pretty much struggling to get to 7k. I most probably only did it like 2 or 3 days before the season end. So this season we're already at 7k, so I'm gonna have to introduce this deck again. So this is the deck that we pushed up on. It's the same as the previous video, right? So I'm gonna share with you guys a few more replays that got me to 7k. So that was top 200, top 112 to be exact. Alright, so the first game that we're gonna share is actually this one. Over here, weird looking deck here. So let's see how we approach this game. Okay, so again, as usual at the start, we'll always have to just figure out what the opponent is playing. So it's always good cycling Firecrackers or Royal Hogs with Hill Spirit first place, pretty okay. So again, it depends on what is your preference, whether you like to defend first or you attack. Okay, so we see him cycling Skellies and then he goes aggressive Balloon, so we don't have much of a choice, we have to go with the Dragons here. And then this is when we go with the split Hogs because we have a counter push on both sides. So seeing that he played Inferno, we decided not to overcommit because we only had 3 elixir left. And then he has Fire Spirits, which are pretty good against the Skeleton Dragons. Okay, so over here I tried to do the Ice Spirit, no, the Skeletons here on this Electro Wizard, but we messed up a little bit, so we took a bit of damage. But now that we know he's playing Balloon with Fire Spirits, we gotta be careful, because the Fire Spirits are good against the Hog, and they're also good against the Dragons. Okay, I don't think he plays arrows yet, so we wouldn't know it, so that's why we're still cycling to see what he does, and then we split Bubs in the back because we didn't see any of his ground tank yet, so that's also a pretty good play, I would say, splitting Bubs in the back against Lockbait, against Expo. It's a pretty safe play because you don't really need the Bubs against them. So again we're going splits in the back. Okay, he goes with the Balloon, so this time we have no choice but we have to delivery this Balloon. Okay, the delivery I don't think it perfectly denies the Balloon anymore because of the reduction in the damage. Okay, so you can see the Fire Spirits pretty much clean up one side, but then we take damage on the other side. So once we know like he has Fire Spirits and then if he has Valkyrie or he has like a Mega Knight, that's when you want to go split Hogs. You don't want to go Hogs all in the same lane because it just gives him way too much value. So now we know he's playing Balloon. We didn't see his spells yet, nor his ground tank, so we're basically still cycling, just trying to get our Hogs in. So in double elixir we'll go more aggressive with the Earthquake when we can, but in single elixir you gotta watch your elixir because if you go with the overcommit and he defends and he manages to counter push, that is when you lose. Okay, so we go all in on the left here and then we go with the prediction Earthquake, but it fails. So we might struggle a bit on defense, but luckily we still get the Firecracker out together with the delivery. We over defended this Balloon, but it is necessary. If not, we will take a Balloon hit. So now we know he has Fire Spirits, he's using them on defense and not on the Dragon, so that's why we're splitting it. He still has to use it, but this time it's only on 2 of the Hogs. And it's also important to try to keep your Firecrackers alive, but because he has arrows, so it's pretty much hard. So yeah, we go with the delivery here, and then we can see he goes with the aggressive lightning, so I have to play additional Firecracker as well as a Heal Spirit to deny the Balloon hit. But I would also say this is necessary to over defend. We should not give up the Balloon, we should not let him take a hit that easily. Okay, so over here his tower is pretty much in spell cycle range, that's 2 spells for Earthquake. But then because we cycle fast, we decide to go in with the aggressive Royal Hogs again, knowing that he has to go all in to take tower. So at the same time when he goes, we decide not to defend, we just go with the Earthquake on offhand, and that's pretty much it. Alright, then I'll see you guys in the next game. Hey guys, so the next game that I would like to share would be against Lava Balloon, alright? So the Balloon can be quite a bit of a problem, especially when it's behind the Lava Hound, because we don't have too much DPS against the Lava Hound. And as you can see, he has Fireball and arrows, alright? So let's see how we play this matchup. Okay. So again, as always at the start, we will try. Okay, he goes Lava on first place, so we have to pressure opposite lane. The good thing is he went with the Fireball, right? So that means we are free to defend with Dragons or with, let's say in this case, because we don't have Dragons yet, so we have to go with the Firecracker. But then he has arrows, right? So against arrows it's a kind of bit of a border because that's when he can take out your Firecracker pretty easily. Okay, so the key I would say against Lava Balloons is do not over defend the Lava Hound. because yes, you can see it doesn't necessarily always support it with the balloon. He can go balloon opposite lane. We tried to do the trick over here, but I guess because the damage is being nerfed for the delivery, so I don't think it perfectly denies it anymore. So you might take balloon hits here and there. So it's always important to think that it might be a 2-tower game. So over here we see, yeah, he went with that. So we go with Firecracker at the bridge to try to take those out to do even more damage. We could have Earthquake just to take tower, but I think it might have been a little bit of overcommit considering we were already down. So we just went with Skeletons, took a bit of damage, but now we are fine. So yeah, against Lava Hounds, it's most probably gonna be a 2-tower game against a good player because it's hard for you to defend a Lava Balloon push, and you don't have too many air units. So again over here, we try to bait out the spell or bait out some form of elixir. So again he goes with that, so this means we're free to attack or we're free to defend with our dragons. But as you can see, he has zap and arrows, right? So zap and arrows also takes out our skeleton dragons pretty perfectly, so we gotta be really careful. So we gotta bait it out, bait the arrows out with the Firecracker first. But you can see over here, we decide not to defend. We had elixir, but we're gonna let the Lava Hound go. Just because we know that if we go and defend this, it's gonna balloon opposite lane. Because it's happened to me before when we try to over-defend a Lava Hound. It doesn't mean he's gonna balloon behind it. So it's very important not to over-defend the Lava Hound. So over here you can see we just use a delivery at the end. Both his towers are pretty low. Okay, so this is, again, now we go with the split Hogs because we know left tower's almost dead. So we gotta do damage to the right because I know I can't defend a Lava Balloon push because he has the right spells to kill us. Or to take out our troops. Over here we can see it's gonna get rough. It's gonna take tower, so it's gonna be hard to defend, like I said. The key is always to make sure that you force him to spell on your offense or defense and then use the the other cards to attack. So yeah, he gives up tower over here. Now we're kind of in an elixir lead because he spent a lot of elixir to take out this 95 HP kind of a tower. So we know that the other side we might most probably also lose it because we don't have any balloon defense at the moment. So we just split buffs over here. We try to defend, but we fail because the delivery pushed it kind of towards it and the lava's pretty much tanking on the other tower. But we have a nice elixir lead and we have troops on board, and that's when we go all in. So against Lava Hound, my key takeaway for you guys would be always to go for one more crown than the opponent because it's really hard. Of course, if you can defend perfectly, then it's possible, but I think it's pretty hard. Because especially when he has the right spells to take out your troops, it's gonna be pretty hard. So I always try to go for one more crown against the Lava Hound players. Alright, then I'll see you guys in the next replay. Okay, so the next replay would be against Giant Sparky, but this time this Sparky has Fireball, right? So let's see. The idea is always the same. I mean, when they Sparky in the back, you have to give some form of pressure because if they build up a big push, it's almost impossible for you to defend. Especially when they have Fireball for your Barbs or for your Dragons, you have to try to make them Fireball your Hogs. So if you are the Sparky player, you most probably don't want to Fireball Royal Hogs. So over here we can see he goes Giant in the back first place, so he does a pretty good Sparky there. And then it takes out all the Hogs. So now we're facing with an uphill situation where we have to defend 10 elixir worth of troops. Again we go with the Dragons high, I believe. Yeah, we have to do some splash on that Sparky, and then we got pretty good here with the Skellies around. So most probably after doing it like 10 times, we're gonna fill out 9 out of 10. But this time we managed to get it right, and the miner went for that Firecracker, and then we also got the King Tower activation. So a pretty good first interaction overall on offense and defense. But now we know we have to go aggressive, right? Because now we can see his Sparky is not in rotation, so we go aggressive here. Again, forcing him to Fireball. This is good. The moment he Fireballs all this, it means defense is gonna be much easier. Okay, so we're most probably gonna just wait and then cycle our Firecrackers again. That's why, because he doesn't have arrows in this deck, so whenever people don't have arrows, you try to abuse your Firecrackers. Okay, he goes with Mega Minion at back, and then now we're caught in a bit of an awkward cycle, but we're gonna go Dragons in the same lane just because he already used his Fireball. And then we know we can actually see if we want to attack or not because he has Sparky, right? But it's gonna take some time for him to get his Sparky out. He goes with the Zap. Unfortunately for him, it doesn't kill the Firecracker, so this time we managed to take tower over here, and that is very important. Because if you know that he doesn't have Fireball, it's perfectly okay to go all in. Because the Sparky at the bridge, or pretty much near the Princess Tower, is gonna take time to load. And by the time it loads on the Hogs, your Dragons, your Firecrackers would already be able to deal pretty much a lot of damage to that Sparky. Okay, so now over here, we go with the defensive Earthquake here. It's not for tower damage, it's just more to damage the Sparky a little bit. We give him a good fireball value here, which is our mistake, but we had a kind of an awkward cycle. So again, we try to cycle as many Firecrackers as we can. We go with the Earthquake again to slow it down, and then we have to get the back. The Giant is not gonna kill us. The Sparky is the only thing that's gonna mess us up. So we again try to go to take out the Sparky first. So that's a pretty clean defense, I would say. So always try to take the Sparky out first, because that's the only thing that's gonna kill you. Okay, so again, yeah, we go with the defensive kind of Earthquake just to take some damage off that Sparky to make it easier to defend. This time we space it out a little bit better, so he can't fireball everything. He only gets the Firecracker, and then this is pretty much it. So again, my advice against Sparky would be you have to give some form of pressure when his Sparky's up. Because this deck cycles fast, you have 2-1 elixir cards. So even if his Sparky's in the back, you have to give some form of pressure. The thing is, don't use your bobs to go opposite lane pressure because he can kite with the Giant. Alright, that's the only key advice I would give you guys with this deck. And then we'll see you guys in the next replay. Okay, so the last replay that I would share would be against a form of lock bait. So this one is with the Rascal Prince. But the good thing is, against this deck, he was using Snowball, right? So if he has lock, he can lock the Hill Spirits. But now he has Snowball. So when your opponent doesn't have any lock or arrows, they can't handle, or Barb Arrow, they can't handle the Hill Spirit immediately. So that is when you always try to get your Hill Spirit behind your Hogs. So again, first play, you can see we either go with Firecracker or Hogs. We're still deciding. Not too sure which would be the best. This time we decide to go defensive, right? It's just like a hunch. We feel like he has a Mega Knight or something, so we go with that. He doesn't respond, so with this we go all in. Of course, if he has Fireball, it's good value for him, but luckily he didn't have. So we just take out that Dart Goblin, and then this time we're saving our. We have to save delivery for his barrel because it looks like already a lock bait, even though he didn't play his barrel yet. So always key to always have your delivery. You gotta play it pretty much on time. But okay, over here we decided to go with delivery in the front because we had an awkward hand with Hill Spirit and Earthquake as well, so we couldn't really defend those. So you can see that we're gonna have to use barbs for some of the barrels, or even Hill Spirit and Skeletons for some of the barrels. So again, he doesn't have Rocket and Cycle, so he had to cycle his Princess and then he plays Knight. That's pretty good for us. Even though King was activated, we get pretty much a good amount of damage. But we know his barrel is gonna come soon, so we gotta be careful. So we split Dragons to take out one of the Princess, and then Skeletons on the left, so the Princess doesn't really shoot them. So the Prince is gonna be handled pretty okay. So over here we go with Firecracker to defend all this. So pretty much he hasn't played his Goblin Barrel yet. Maybe because he couldn't find the right opportunity. But we always had our delivery in hand. So again, this time we go aggressive. Knowing he's gonna rocket, we didn't even send the Hill Spirit. So every time that you know that he's gonna rocket, it's a good trade for you. So it's a 1 elixir plus for you. If he does it 5 times in the game, you get 5 elixir throughout. So now we know we don't have any punish. So most probably his barrel is gonna come in soon. So yep, we have to be spot on and early with the barrel. So we got good this time. So we didn't take a single hit. But it's hard. I have to admit, it is pretty hard, especially for an old man like me. It's pretty hard. Okay, we tried to snipe the Princess here, but he tanked with the Rascals. But in the end, it was a pretty good trade for me because the Firecracker took out everything. And then on the left, we saw that he went with the defensive Goblin Gang, so we had to Earthquake those. So Lockbait is it's a counter to this deck if they're using Lock, right? So this time it's pretty much better for me because he was using Snowball. So yeah, we go with again the dual lane pressure here, one with the Dragons, one with the Hogs. He's forced to rocket because it's pretty low already, his HP. Again, we can defend pretty okay. So again, we split barbs over here. We have to be careful of his barrel. Even though he's not quite back to it, we cycle in advance, just anticipating his barrels. So he finally sends it, but we don't have enough elixir, so we had to go with Skellies and Hill Spirit because it's within Earthquake cycle range on the left. So that's why we decided not to go with Hogs anymore, because that would be the safer option. Okay, yep, either ways, we have Earthquake back in cycle, so that's pretty okay even if he wants to rocket that. Okay, so that's how I win against Lockbait. As I mentioned before, against X-Bow, against Lockbait, I like to cycle my barbs. I like to split the barbs, because they're not really too useful against this deck. They don't really have a ground tank that you have to take care of. So anyway, I hope you guys like this series with this Royal Hog deck, and hope you guys can give me some support by liking this video, as well as subscribing to my channel. Alright, then we'll hope to produce more better Clash Royale content, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Alright, peace out.